Good afternoon. Welcome to the press center of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Here is the weekly update of the situation in the operations area of the joint forces from 1st to 7th October 2018. During the last week, the enemy continued to destabilize situation in the deterrence area of the Russian summer aggression in the Donbass. Units of the joint operation forces continue to record violation of the ceasefire by the Russian occupation troops. In general, over the past week, from 1st to 7th October, the Ukrainian defenders' position fell under provocative fire by Russian occupation troops for 167 times. The level and the number of ceasefire violations were intense. From the beginning of the previous week, enemy continued to violate agreements by using artillery, mortars, grenade launchers, heavy machine guns, small arms and other infantry weapons. On October 1st, Russian occupation troops shelled civilian infrastructure of Vodyane, firing 31 shots from 122 mm artillery systems. 120 and 82 mm mortars were used as well. Also, on October 2nd, enemy fired more than 30 82 mm mines on positions near Orikhovo, Luhansk, Novatoshkinsk and Krymsk. In general, on this day, enemy fired more than 60 82 and 120 mm mines. Apart from that, on October 2nd, once again Russian occupation forces used heavy machine guns and small arms near Stanitsa Luhanska to pull down disengagement of forces in this area. On October 5th, enemy shelled 32 120 mm and 82 mm mines on positions of our defenders. Moreover, on October 6th, 122 mm artillery was used to shell our positions near Vodyane. The situation in the operations area is under full control of the joint operation forces. Our servicemen opened fire in response to suppress enemy activity and by strictly adhering to Minsk agreements. As a result of the activity of the Russian occupation forces, 9 of our defenders were wounded in action. They were quickly transferred to military hospitals where they are being treated. We wish them speedy recovery. We would want also to inform with the grief that one serviceman was killed in action as the result of Russian armed aggression. We express our sincerest condolences to the relatives and loved ones of our deceased defender as well as for his combat comrades. According to the information from the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Russian Occupation Forces Command has increased training of subordinate units to wage offensive operations. Command staff training is supposed to take place in units of 1st and 2nd Army Corps of the Armed Forces of Russia. At the same time, some units stationed on the front line mastered their offensive skills as well. The Russian occupation administrations, in addition to the use of powerful open agitation and propaganda, take covert measures to the preparation and conduct of the so-called elections in the temporarily occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblasts on November 11th. In particular, in order to ensure the mass participation of people on the so-called elections, it is supposed to involve 100% of the representatives of military units of 1st and 2nd Army Corps of the Armed Forces of Russia, including those who were accepted into military service without any personal documents and didn't have so-called Republican passports. To participate in the elections, such individuals are issued special temporary certificates on the citizenship of Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republic. As for other news, representatives of Litpol Ukr Brigade and servicemen of the 80th Separate Air Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine will participate in a 2-week military maneuvers Maple Arc 2018. Maneuvers Maple Arc are an annual 11-day command staff exercise in which traditional Lithuanian, Polish and Ukrainian servicemen participate with the support of Canadian mentors. But this year exercise is somewhat expanded. It covers more than 300 participants from 8 countries like Canada, Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine, Georgia, Montenegro, Romania, and Turkey. Macedonia is represented by the observers. International military exercises Clean Sky 2018 will take place during October 18th-19th in Khmelnytsky and Vinnytsia oblasts. It will be the largest international aviation exercises in the history of independent Ukrainian aviation. The goal of the multinational exercise is to increase the level of crew training while performing tactical tasks in the coalition environment, to increase the level of interoperability with the air forces of the United States and other NATO member states, while conducting joint air operations to provide airspace protection, effective joint command and control, search and rescue operations, aeromedical evacuation, and cyber defense. Ukraine is one of the states which are most polluted with mines and explosive remnants of war. With the beginning of the aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine in the Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts, there have been constant cases of mine accidents involving both military personnel and civilian population. During this week, engineer units of the armed forces of Ukraine have checked about 9 acres of the territory for the presence of explosive remnants and disposed of 610 items. In general, since the beginning of the hostilities, our engineer units have checked about 4,040 acres in Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts and disposed of more than 250,000 items, explosive items. Over 1,450 kilometers of roads and routes were cleared. It should be also noted that in order to reduce the risk of accidents from unauthorized handling with explosive items, the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, in concert with the non-governmental organization the Halo Trust, developed an information map of the territories contaminated with mines and explosive remnants of war, which can be found on the official website of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine in the section Demining Activity. During last week, a group of Ukrainian officers was at the headquarters of the NATO Joint Operational Command Naples, where command and staff training was held as part of the preparation for the strategic military training of NATO, Trading Juncture 2018. The active phase of the Trading Juncture 2018, with the participation of the 45,000 contingent of troops, will take place in northern Norway from October 25th to November 7th, 2018. In conclusion, we would like to stress that on Sunday, October 14th, Ukraine will celebrate the national holiday, the Day of the Defender of Ukraine. On this day, at the state level, the light memories of all those who gave up their life during the Russian armed aggression for peace in our country will be commemorated, and hundreds of modern Ukrainian heroes who confront the insidious enemy on the front line will be awarded. Nowadays, it is one of the greatest public holidays for Ukrainian army and for the whole country. That is all information for now. Glory to Ukraine. Captain Mykhailo Sharavara from the Press Center of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine.